Alright, now it's time for us to lay on our quick stain. I am using, once again, if you didn't know, using strong tone, the strong shades, the halfway mark between light and heavy. So what I usually do is I just shake up my can really good, and I'll actually just use the lid as kind of a paint, I guess my paint potion, and that way like I don't end up dripping stuff everywhere. So Quickshade is awesome. If you haven't seen me do this before, please watch, because I want you guys at home to do this. I recently got back into modeling and gaming. I quit smoking cigarettes and needed something to do with my hands. So this has just been like an awesome, rewarding task. I always loved wargaming, but you know, as we get older, we don't always have time to do what we want to do. That's how life works. But it doesn't mean that we can't have fun and that we can't cheat a little bit in our attempts to have fun and work into a busy adult schedule. So as you can see, the Quickshade, I'm just brushing it on. That's all I'm doing. I have this old brush that I don't care about. It's a real cheap brush, and I've been using it to layer on the lacquer. But see, there's nothing to it. It's just a quick paint on. You just have to be kind of attentive and watch it and kind of see how it lays on. So that way later you're going to come back over and brush over it a couple more times with a dry brush and kind of spread out the stain. But be sure that you use a brush that you know nobody cares about. Sucks getting your expensive model brushes covered in this filth. You know what, this stuff isn't really as bad as super glue to peel off your fingers, I will admit. Alright, bear with me, I'm gonna like zoom in on this. I'm gonna try to get it accurate. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it looks like slime right now, doesn't it? But in all honesty, there's nothing to it. You know, this brush, I think this brush has seen its last day. Alright, I got another brush though. Another cheapie. Bristles work really well on this one, so that other brush I've used probably about 12 times, man. It's harder than the American economy. But see, this is it. This is all we're doing with the Quickshade. Just painting it on. Now it might look rough, you know, while it's wet. You know, when I mean rough, I say it might not look professional or as bad or as awesome as you thought it was going to be. That's only because that the chemical process is still working. A lot of this liquid and this wet slimy effect comes off as it dries, because it's just like a stain or lacquer that you would use on furniture. After the releasing chemical dries, the paint and the stain underneath flattens out onto the model. So see, all you're doing is just painting it on. That's it. That's the joy of this army painter system, is that, you know, once you've done the tedious work, the fun part is just beginning. And I really actually enjoy doing the quick stain, because in 1993 or 94, when I first got into Warhammer, I came from a home with no dad around. My mother worked full time, and my older brothers and sisters who gamed had already moved out. So I was kind of all alone and didn't have a lot of folks to kind of run up and watch paint. And so it was really frustrating. You can only imagine my frustration as a youngster, painting and buying these models with my hard-earned money, and then painting them and they look like poo-poo. They look just terrible. So this is a lot of fun in retrospect to my old painting, because you know, painting is just like anything else. You know, it's you do it long enough, you get good at it. But I think I was one of those kids who got easily frustrated and didn't want to do things that they weren't good at right off the bat. So, I mean, just so pleased with this army painter stuff. It's enabled me to get back into gaming. It's helped me quit smoking, which is totally awesome. It's also enabled me to turn on friends who, like me, are adults, who work and have stuff to do, to be able to paint up a fully painted army and have something to play with on a weekend or a day off with your friends. You know, it's a lot much funner than having just black primed models or white primed models and constantly using the excuse of, yeah, I'm going to paint those later, and 4 years will go by and you're buying new models for a new edition and your old ones are still primed. I mean, that's usually how this ends up for a lot of fellas, a lot of people that play. Almost embarrassed to let people see their work. So I'm actually doing this as quick as I can. I want you folks just to see what goes into it. And see that, no matter where you are, if you can order Army Painter, if you got a job or some money or some income, you too can have an awesomely painted army that's individual to you. And you don't have to use my scheme. I mean, my scheme's super simple. And if you ask any of my buddies in real life, they'll be more than happy to tell you that I am a simpleton. And I love how it's three-dimensional as a Disney cartoon. There's not much to it. But who says the art has to have a million hours behind it? But bam! And there he is, quick shaded. Now you're going to continue to work the quick shade in with a brush. That's super important. And when I mean work, I just mean kind of brushed around till it dries. You don't want to see it kind of bubble up or make any drips on the model because it comes out looking a lot darker than the other places, and then it does look like you just poured, stainer all over it. But you just kind of work it in. Keep your brush going. Like, for instance, you can see where it's balling up on the wing. Right there, you see the dark? You just brush it. Just keep brushing it. And it spreads out. So I'm going to keep working on this. And I'll come back and let y'all see it after it's dried a little bit. And you can see it's already taking shape. Isn't that just awesome? It's already taking some shape there. Here, bear with me. I want to try to scan in for you. There. Isn't that just awesome? I mean, can y'all see the detailed effects of just 2 or 3 minutes of just staining? Well, alright, I'm going to let it dry up. I'm going to brush out a couple more of the hard spots, and then I'll show you what it looks like completed with a little bit of anti-gloss on it.